Accra. However, the affected traders, they always return. They always return to the pavement to conduct their businesses. And that is weeks after the exercise. How can we finally be able to decongest Accra? The approach that we've been adapting all this while, is it the best approach? What should we change? Is this something that has to do with finding alternative means for the traders? Or even if you give them alternative means, they'll come back to the road? Or is it we, the people who are buying from the traders? Because if they sell to us on the pavement and we buy from the pavement, it means we have created a good market for them by the pavement. I don't know what Helen thinks about this, though, but Helen, what approach can we adapt finally to deal with congestion in Accra?
Yesterday,
she says,
there was a drone shot. I think it was of the Kimbu Road.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether you saw it, how clear it was looking, right? And people were, in fact, if you're watching us on Facebook, I'm not sure what area this is, but I mean, just look at the free flow, at least on one side. And
human beings are walking freely. You're not jumping over anything. You're not hearing any plenty noise.
Charlie, look at the free flow. See just going about their day. And people were actually taking bets on social media that, kwata by June, a few moments later. Somebody said, kwata by August, their business is booming again. You won't be able to see.
August is far.
It's far, right?
August is far. By the end of May.
And so, because of the precedent that has been set, and shortly we'll also see on Facebook, on our screens, the number of times we've done these decongestion exercises. So pardon me if my confidence levels are low, because you would have heard yesterday we were in the thick of things. A lot of hawkers and traders lamenting about where they are going to go, and man must feed,
right now
man must eat.
Us. We should go where?
You see what I'm saying? And because of that, desperation to make money, to feed, to eat, pay school fees, sooner rather than later, we see a re-emergence. So the root causes of this, we talk about indiscipline, a lack of jobs, a lack of effort. It is multifaceted. So I wouldn't even know where to even...
Which solution would solve it?
Would really solve it once and for all. Is it solvable once and for all? Are we going to come back in a few weeks?
If it is not solvable, So it means these actions, these activities, merely cosmetic?
The intentions, of course, are that we have, ease of pressure on our walkways. The intention is that these marketplaces are decongested so that they are fit for purpose. You know, the rainy season is here, and we all know what is happening. Yesterday, just after that small flash rain we had, go and look at Tabora. So the intentions always are in the right vein. It's the sustainability, because it's like putting a plaster on a gunshot wound. You haven't addressed the core issue or the root cause. So it's always very difficult to say, listen, 1991 and 1993. I'm taking you
that far back.
That far back. You had under the Jerry Rawlings NDC government embarking on this. Why did they do that? To ease the pressure on public walkways, hygiene, and all of that.
In 1991, 1993, when the population of Ghana was what? We still had congestion at the Central Business District.
All Ghanaians need is just a bit of space.
Right.
Let me take you to, when did we complete the Pokwasi interchange? I think as soon as the sod was cut, less than 12 hours later, a father-daughter duo has set up their chop bar there. Very, very quickly, there was a chop bar right there. You could go and eat your akrantie or whatever soup right there. We have that passion. That indiscipline is also very much with us. So multifaceted. 1991, 1993. We saw this exercise. Take a look at January 2007, AMA under Mayor Ni Okang. You had CBD and informal markets as being the target areas. hawkers were relocated to Odona markets. And why did we do that? We wanted to beautify the city for Ghana at 50, impress dignitaries, and remove encroachments. I'm sure there were also other reasons for that. Let's go to July 2009, AMA and the National Coordination pre-Obama visit. Okay, so we like to make the place beautiful for our visitors.
Cleaning your house.
Cleaning your house. This took place in Spintex, Oxford Street, and then you've got Circle. And we had street vendors removed, some stalls were even torched. Why was it done? Beautify Accra for Obama's visit, clean major VIP corridors. Let's go to 2010, July to be specific, AMA and Landwest partners, and that happened in the NDC government. Novotel Circle area, we saw that place being cleared. 1,200 female fruit and vegetable hawkers were cleared. And why did we do that? We wanted to clear the land for that $1.5 billion Octagon project to modernize traffic and for prime land use. Let's also go to 2013, Mayor Vanderpoy under the NDC. What were the areas that were targeted? Rawlings Park, Makola, Oxford Street. Mainly market women, other traders were cleared. And why did we do so? To clear the pavements for pedestrian movement and reduce repeat encroachments. So we see what reasons that we had. April 2021, Mayor Soa under the NPP, the target area, Rawlings Park, Makola Square, some over 600 kiosks were cleared. Why did we do that? To clear illegal structures, blocking parking and traffic, which is a major issue as well. The havoc that causes on our roads, so many obstructions. You can't actually apply these roads sometimes safely. And also to respond to driver complaints. We move on to July 2022. Mayor Elizabeth Saki under the NPP. The areas that were affected, 31st Makola Street, the Market Shed Development, many hawkers displaced. Why, again, did we do that? To provide permanent stalls to ease congestion with infrastructure. And of course, now you fast forward to today, we see that we're also embarking on another drive to ease the congestion in our central business district.
Why, first of all, why is Accra so congested? Why is the central business district so congested? Is it overpopulation, urban drift, the demands of the country's economy? That is what is making the central business district so congested, or there are other reasons why Accra is congested? Because if we find why, that will be when we'll be able to know the solution to it.
I mean, the clue is in the name, Central Business District. You want to do business, you're going to the center where all the hustle and bustle is going on. I mean, if I gave you the opportunity to come and sell your jeans in Frontier, anyway, maybe here you make money because girls are yeshe jeans, but let's say a more quiet area, there's not a lot of footfall, you're not going to target such an area. You're going where the footfall is for business. But of course, we all cannot go there. We all cannot set up on the pavements. I mean, to the point that we're spilling into the roads, it's not going to happen. But we know, like you mentioned, all of the above: the migration, the footfall, the increased population, and a lack of job opportunities. Let's speak with the Executive Director for African Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism on the back of this. Mr. Koting, thank you for your time with us on the program. I'm sure you've been following the conversations that Ghana has been having since 1991, 1993 about decongesting the central business district. Another exercise is underway. It began yesterday. It is following through today. From where you sit, is this approach good enough? And will it bring the desired results? Or will it only be temporary relief?
Well, thank you for having me. Very good morning to your cherished listeners. It's in this country, if we can enforce our laws effectively, we'll not be going the circles we go every now and then. If we say Accra is congested, some of us beg to differ. It's just that we don't enforce our bylaws. And with regards to your question based on this foundation, it's just going to be the usual settings we get when there's change of government. They want to show to be doing something, and after a few months down the line, they relax everything. I am not too sure that if this was a year or 2 years to an election, any government will have the balls to do what they are doing. And that goes to the fiber of what we talk about, enforcement of our laws. Why do we create laws? If we create laws and we can enforce them, what is really the need? You see, the exercise is a good one. I agree absolutely with the policy makers and those who are enforcing things, but the methodology is wrong. You see, we are in a democracy, and any exercise we have to do, it has to be people-centered. There are two arguments here. You can't just wake up and say that don't sell on our street when you don't provide alternatives for the vendors. I don't think this is how we build a country.
But, Doc,
So
if there are alternatives for the vendors, there have been instances or a lot of cases where alternatives are suggested to the vendors, but they still come back. Do they come back because the market is there, and that means we, the people who are buying from them too, are contributing? We're not going to the marketplaces to buy.
The alternatives are there by act. By inaction, it's not there. You go and follow up on the alternatives they are talking about. You go, depending on the political card you are bearing, that is when you are given an allocation. That is the challenge. So if we really want to get this right, we should make it a nationalistic program. It shouldn't be Accra and Kumasi only. If you go to Takoradi and other major cities within Ghana, we face these challenges, and it boils down to law enforcement. So if government really means well, and they are doing this for the good of all of us, which I believe is the case, then let's call on the other stakeholders, the opposition parties, the religious bodies, and the civil society organizations, such that we don't make this a political issue like some of us are hearing already. Because the opposition always seeks to capitalize on things like this to say that this is the change you voted for. Meanwhile, right inside their thinking, they will see that if as a country we want to be respected internationally, if we want to grow our country, we have to get some of these things right. But the district assemblies must, as a matter of agencies, look at how they can provide alternatives for these vendors. Otherwise, they will come back, just like we have seen in the past. If you look at under the Fourth Republican Constitution, as you rightfully referenced, how many times haven't we had this exercise? How successful have they been? So is it safe to say that it's another exercise in futility? Because, so it's a conversation as a country we need to have.
Mr. Kuting, what is happening right now as we speak is that just a day after the place was cleared by the mayor, some traders are back on the pavement. Some of the areas are the Central Business District. I'm watching a video right now, and I see people selling what they were selling yesterday, even before the crackdown started. It is still happening. So what are we not getting right again?
It's about enforcement. We are talking about youth unemployment. We are even misapplying our national service personnel. If this is a national program, it should be properly looked at, such that when you clear, you enforce, and make sure that there are punitive measures for those who violate same. But on the other hand, like I mentioned earlier, there should be alternatives, provide alternatives to the vendors, so that from the human rights point of view, you balance the equation. Look, we are giving you this place, make good use of it, and remove the political nuances where depending on which party is in power, they give favoritism to its card-bearing members. That has been the problem about this country. So we need to really build our institutions. Otherwise, how is it the case that you come and bring out a good policy of this nature, and yesterday, all the media houses in Ghana was focused on this program, and just barely some few hours, the people are back on the street. So it means that we don't carry this exercise effectively, or we don't think through the end game. We just feel that by clearing the people off the street, our job is done. And that is not the way to go.
So while we try to strengthen our enforcement regimes, as you put us, a way to ensure that this is finally dealt with properly, in terms of enforcement, Doug, what practically can we look at?
You see, there are local assembly bylaws, and you can look at it from that level and scale it out through the process onto the police level. Because the police, if you look at their mandate, they are to maintain law and order. Is that not the case?
That's right.
In this instant case, motorist rights have been violated because vendors have taken over the street. So you have to balance the equation. So you need to start somewhere and scale it, and not to just come and make a political statement that you are not going to tolerate A, B, and C, bring the media landscape, get the headlines, and then go to sleep. I think it's about time, as a country, we begin to hold these political leaders accountable when they come and make political headlines and go to sleep.
I see. Dr. Koting, thank you. Thank you so much.
Most grateful, my brother.
And we've been speaking with Dr. Emmanuel Koting. He is the Executive Director of the Counter-Terrorism Unit, speaking with us in relation to the conversation about Decongesting Accra, Executive Director for African Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism, speaking there. And Helen, you've heard from Emmanuel Koting. He says it is purely a problem of enforcement, because if you sack them, you don't give them a place, they'll come back. If they come back, the market will boom, business will continue. And as we speak, people are back. They are already selling.
I have just seen this video.
You're surprised.
I'm surprised, but I think Mr. Koting also mentioned settings. I think we have to go beyond settings. He said it's not enough for a mayor to say, we will not tolerate this, and then put the camera on you and then go to
The regional minister says 2,000 fine for traders operating on pavements. Fine.
How much?
2,000 cities. Why? It's too small, it's too much, or they can't pay, or not, they can't collect. What is it? Yes.
I'm still looking at this video. They are back.
Yes, they are back.
I want to see how the next 24 hours will actually pan out. How the mayor, the task force will deal with this one.
It says we are going to activate a task force to work 24 hours. And then they are going to draw a red line on the road. So with the red line, when you cross the line, you have a fee to pay, which is 1,500 cities. Maximum is 2,000. We are going to make sure that we have leaders in the market who will be monitoring, aside from the task force, and make sure that the right things are being done. You think it's not going anywhere? Just
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to also preempt that and say that because of precedents, my trust levels are low. This is the mayor says he means business. We saw him yesterday making the rounds in the different areas, parts of the central business district. We're also hearing about fines and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
We can only wait and see. The proof is in the eating, isn't it? Traders have come back today. Let's see how this task force that has been set up also deals with it. And then from there, we can make some commentary.
So stay with us here on all the Media General platforms on 3FM 92.7, also on our Facebook page, 3FM 927, because we'll be going with the team today too as well to visit the places that were, well, I should say, decongested yesterday and find out whether they are still decongested today.
Osafo be back on the beach today.
Armstrong Gold Alegbe is on the beach today. The team is yet to begin, today's activities. Is in phases. So yesterday was phase 1, or yesterday was day 1. Today the exercise is continuing in other parts of the metropolis, other parts of Accra, all aimed at doing the same thing, decongesting part of Accra, clearing pavements, off traders and all of that. So it will all happen here on 3FM 92.7 on our social media platforms. But we would like to also hear from you. Send us a message on our Facebook page on what you think the best approach should be in dealing with the problem of congestion in Accra, particularly that of traders. We would love to share your comments with the rest of the world. So you can also reach us and then let us know what you think about this development. The mayor is also saying that what will be seized and will be given to, he says he will donate it to prisoners. He's insisting that it is not a 9-day wonder. And
that's
then
right.
Seized goods will be donated to prison services.
In fact, I had him having some interesting interaction with one trader. Also, oh yeah, do I oh yeah, be a chana, and he said, oh, me tired. Also, my member will be more. So if you slack, your goods will be taken. Let's see what happens today.
Anyways. This is still 3FM 92.7. We're also live on our social media platforms at 3FM 927. We'll have to go very soon. We'll have a few birthdays to do this morning. But before that, let's remind you of these.
Get ready, Ghana. The road is calling and the wheels are spinning. It's the 3FM Tour du Ghana happening Get Saturday. Ready, Ghana. The road is calling and the wheels are spinning. Into the border town of Aplau. We are pedaling for the planet in a thrilling 192-kilometer ride across Ghana's scenic eastern corridor. Whether you're a seasoned cyclist or a passionate pedal pusher, this is your moment to shine. Form your teams, grab your helmet, and race for glory in Ghana's biggest cycling showdown. Challenge your limits, conquer the distance, ride for sustainability, be part of history. To register, call 0531 100 927 or 0532 200 927. 3FM Tour du Ghana, powered by 3FM.
Sunrise on 3FM. Shine with us. Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. The best in the morning. Sunrise on 3FM. Shine with us.